Hi YouTubers, hi, I'm back with 41 Years of Mills and Boon, and it is Meet Me in Tahiti, the third of the Meet Me Quartet by Georgia Toffolo and Avril Tremaine. Now, I looked up Avril Tremaine's blog. She has a blog as a Mills and Boon writer, and can I just say, okay, she writes dare novels, okay, Mills and Boon dare, which for the side of Mills and Boon is more explicit, okay, which is why I'm kind of looking forward to this as well, because this is unique within the Mills and Boon kind of canon as well. This is kind of like what I want to see first of all. First of all, okay, you had Victoria, who is so goddamn privileged, it's unbelievable, okay, who lives in Chelsea, doesn't seem to be worrying about money, okay, he meets up with a billionaire, okay, or a millionaire, whatever, he's filthy rich, and having to drop every goddamn chapter, I can't have kids, even though you're like, yeah, he's kind of got the facilities to actually make that happen. But anyway, oh, by the way, in this, it's mentioned that Victoria's getting married, okay, then you have Malia, who is British Hawaiian and now lives in Hawaii, and then meets up with Todd, also a rich man, okay. Privilege really runs a lot through these kind of things, and it really kind of bothered me, okay, how goddamn, so there was no difference within the first time Meet Me in London, which I actually liked a lot, being a Londoner, seeing the city that I actually am from. But this actually is rare, because obviously within like Hallmark or Mills and Boon, there is kind of an office, kind of a lack of representation going on. This is the rarity in which it has a character, the Mills and Boon heroine is a wheelchair user. Now I like that, finally getting some diversity into this, getting something different, okay, because you know, it's as to talk about the nuances of what it feels like, how people treat you, and when it gets it right, it really does get it right, and a lot of stuff it doesn't. And once again, privilege running through. Now let me read the blurb, okay. Right, Meet Me in Tahiti. Right, Zoe spent her life facing battles, fighting her parents for independence, struggling with the feelings for local bad boy Finn, and after a car accident at 18, adjusting to the fact she would not walk again. She remained strong until the day Finn, the person she thought she could trust, broke her heart. Now a successful travel writer, Zoe is excited to review a new luxury hotel in the beautiful South Pacific till she meets the owner. Finn was never good enough for Zoe, he knew it. Zoe's family knew it. The village of Hawkes Cove made sure he knew it. And he proved it when he let her down in the worst way possible. A successful businessman, he thought he'd parcels behind him until a journalist turns up to review his new resort. As Finn shows Zoe the exotic wonders of the islands, both face the fact that their shared past might be the beginning of a future, but only if Zoe can win the biggest battle of her life, facing up to her heart's desire. So it starts off at this meeting with kind of like, you know, press are there, people are there, PR are there, and Finn sees Zoe, okay, who is obviously from Hawkes Cove, lives in Australia. She's done very well for herself. She actually literally had to move halfway around the world to escape her oppressive parents, who were on it for so long trying to find a miracle cure to her situation. Now this has been mentioned in the last two books of this car accident, okay, that honestly I stopped caring about in the first one, maybe because it kept on going on, okay, I can't have kids due to this car accident, everyone's lives changed due to this car accident. Sympathy because a woman died in this car accident, the woman who's driving the car, but no, okay, you're like, I'm over this now, Victoria, very much. So, but then you have obviously Zoe. Now Zoe was left paralysed in this, and I will give some respect to this. Now this is a bit here, okay, this is when this bit here, right, this is from Finn's point of view. She did look fragile, Zoe. She always had, though she'd never seen herself that way. Small and slender, enough to be shaped, snapped in half by a too rough touch. Otherworldly with that white gold hair, either falling in perfectly defined waves to her hips, or turning to a ponytail or plait or bound with a glittery clip or comb somewhere. Right, a mermaid forced to walk on a too hard earth. Our mermaids kind of come into play into this quite a bit. When they were teenagers working in the crab shack, you and the boss had warned Finn that Zoe Taylor was off the limits. Finn had taken that to heart. You'd have given the job out simply for Finn's ailing mother, so he was already primed to be on his best behaviours. But Finn had need to be told. He'd always known Zoe was off limits. He'd never spoken to her before the summer. But seeing her around the village, she knew her history, knew that she was a protected species, knew she was considered too good for the likes of him, knew she was too good for him. She'd been off the limits in every conceivable way, rich to his poor, light to his dark, cool to his hot, angel to the devil, sweet to his bitter. Okay, so Once again, though, privilege once again really kind of appears, okay, because Zoe's from a privileged background, Finn's from a poor background, okay, and much like Todd in the last one, okay, you know, he's worked himself up, he's put himself up by the bootstraps kind of thing, and so, you know, and essentially it kind of, you know, for poor Finn, you know, he had a job to take care of his ailing mother. Everyone looked down their nose at him and basically said, this girl's not good enough for you. I mean, everyone told him that. When your hometown says you're not good enough, okay, no wonder he escaped. Okay, no absolute wonder he escaped. Right, and also the fact is that Zoe doesn't want to be patronised at all. Okay, Zoe doesn't want to be patronised. She's there with her carer Christine, and so it's kind of like this position, okay, of Zoe craves her independence. Okay, Zoe craves her freedom. But at the same time, okay, when she does receive help, which she actually does need help, she views it kind of begrudgingly. It's like, well, Christine's more of a friend than my carer, because we've got to kind of get that balance. Okay? Right. Here we go. This is one, once again, from Finn's thing. Right. It wanted time with her. Time to deal with the memories, seeing her had him blocked. To know her life, reminded that she was not for him. Say that final goodbye so he could move on. What he needed was closure. So that if you should happen to run into her in Sydney one day, it won't feel like fate, it will just be a coincidence. Because that's where Finn lives, they both live in Sydney. I know, right? Okay. And the fact is, okay, that even when Finn is asking Zoe questions, okay, like casual questions, Zoe likes to twist things. She likes to kind of take this the wrong way, okay? Right, let's go here. So Christine travels with you everywhere, he asks. If you wanted to know more about Zoe's drastically altered life, it seems to be a place to start. But Katie wasn't going to volunteer anything herself. He got a prickly no for his trouble, and then, but since you're so interested, I can tell you she's 29, single, and she likes fishing and cooking and watching sunrises. Right. She also loves to travel, but she didn't come with me to Hawaii, for example, in February. Right. So that was definitely a so dare Finn Doherty. From her point of view is he's patronising me because at various times within my career I have to have a carer with me, okay, whereas he just asked a question. You see, she likes to twist things around quite a bit. She really likes to twist things, right? Because the fact is, okay, she's bitter. She's not bitter about the accident. She's kind of accepted what happened to her, but she's bitter about how people treat her. She sees people just genuine interest as you are patronising me. She can't help it. She gives off this kind of allure of, I'm fine with the situation, okay? But at the same time, it's the do not patronise me. She seems to think, okay, in a way, falling in love would be a weakness. Because love is relying on someone. Love is trusting someone. Love is being there for each other. But in her head, she can't truly love someone. Because in that way, it'd be a weakness. Having someone actually be with her. And the mechanics of what it is to actually date a disabled person, and I like the fact the book does address this. It is very, very refreshing to have this kind of conversation, which is so rare in Mills and Boone. That is one positive I am going to take away. Okay, right. Everyone waiting for an illness to carry me off, as Zoe was premature. Pause. And in the end, I was myself feeling poverty. Poor Zoe, sick Zoe, fail Zoe. There was nothing poor, sick or fair about me until at last I was. I was bitter enough at the time to think, great, everyone will finally be happy and leave me alone. Right. Is that why I never go back? Yes, that's why I don't go back. That's why I had to leave. And so I did leave. It wasn't exactly the way I planned my exit, and you left too. And the rest they say, she held up, is history. Right. But the thing is, they have history together. Okay, that's the thing. And they start to... Finn is on the kind of guise of just spend some time at the resort, do some of the classes we offer. Just kind of like, and they even do like a cooking class together where they discuss people's scents, and they decide, okay, that a chef's scent is vanilla. Now, the word vanilla, I want you to keep that in mind. Vanilla. Okay? Right. Because at the time, Zoe is also kind of fighting her parents because they live they're like one of the richest families on Hawkes Cove. They're kind of building her a wing for her to come home. Now you can imagine the kind of place where Zoe does love, okay, her parents, but the fact is, okay, even though she's living an independent life in Sydney, in the UK they're building her not just a room, okay, or a suite, a wing. Right. Demodeling the house, she said, trying to speak to bring herself back to the present, making the email inconsequential because that's what it was, making a wing for me, wheelchair friendly, my own entrance to works, inconsequential, yet it smiled faded, his outstretched hand drop. Right. She's fighting her parents, even though she loves them, you know, she's fighting them. She's absolutely fighting them. Okay? And the fact is also, whilst she's with Finn, Zoe is really kind of waking up to what she really wants. Now, she's like worked her arse off to get where she is. She's disabled, she's a travel writer, she goes all around the world, you know, places, resorts for kind of like that wheelchair friendly, which is really, really important as well. I've been places which are so not wheelchair friendly, it's unbelievable. Okay, I actually had to learn to walk again several years ago. I crushed my right foot and I had to learn to walk on my right leg all over again. And first thing I put on YouTube actually was a video of that. I'd be walking up the stairs. I had to learn how to do that again. So I do understand what it's like, even though it was only for a short time period, what it is like trying to get to places when you're in a wheelchair, okay, or on crutches, or the things you have to think about. Okay, right. Right. But here. And she kind of gets the impetus to change her life, and actually like that. Right. I'm more than my wheelchair, even though as a part of me as a writer. I'm talking about just excellent writers who are working for newspapers and magazines. I'm producing content for blogs and tourism organisations, online travel sites. We sort of seamlessly into my place, the way slightly into role for the Cashew place this time. Can't even claim my photography as anything special, whilst images are 1,000 times more evocative than mine. Until you, one of the friends I've made hers. So here, her photos are extraordinary. Right. So what are you saying, Zoe? You want to give up? Right. I'm going to write novels, she announced. Maria, whoops, serious? Serious. Okay? Right, that's when she's talking to the girls about what she was to Finn is to the others, okay, on Skype call. So I like that. It's kind of like she's kind of put herself into this, but I like the fact, okay, that she's kind of branching out a little bit more, figuring out what she really wants. And there's a lot to like about Zoe, even though I find the character very, very frustrating. However, there's one thing I don't find, okay, I didn't find particularly fantastic, okay. Now, obviously, is, first of all, okay, Avril Tremaine is a Dare writer for Mills and Boon. Okay, now Dare is the more explicit side of Mills and Boon. Fantastic, kudos to you. Okay, so I was expecting, when it came to this, obviously these two people, they had this sort of thing when, like, several years earlier, they're getting back together. Okay, they are generally falling in love. Okay, so you're thinking, okay, when it gets to the crux moment, okay, when it gets to the good moment, all right, it's going to be spellbound, it's going to be astounding, okay, especially from a Dare writer. It is literally page 275. It is one paragraph, aftermath. I felt so disappointed. And not only can you, like, the whole idea is to basically bring in a disabled character, fantastic, but at the same time, it felt very, very kind of patronising too. The same way, okay, is when I mentioned that the chat about scents at this cooking class, I mentioned vanilla. No, this is plainer than vanilla, and I don't know what that is. Okay, this is nothing. I was like, okay, so there's a lovemaking scene, which is fantastic. We don't see it. It's an aftermath. It starts with, this is what all the fuss is about. Okay, so he woke with the wires in her head that grabbed Finn's pillow, and then grabbed Finn's pillow, brought it to her face and inhaled. Right. True to his word, he'd not been gentle last night. Well, actually he had. When he whispered that he had to be, that he needed to be. Okay? Right. Here you go. It was seriously so vanilla. And that's the thing, okay? You know, I read a Mills and Boon book a while ago where this woman becomes a carer, okay, a physiotherapist for a guy who had an accident, right? And he crutches her leg and had to learn to walk again. On it. Hey, been there. But the fact is, okay, when she found out that he still had people over, okay, for a little bit of fun time, she was shocked and embarrassed and flushed. It's kind of like, well, yeah, that's patronising writing, by the way, and this kind of felt kind of patronising too. You didn't go more with the emotion. It felt, I'll be honest, vanilla. This, unlike the others, okay, this felt more sedatory. This felt vanilla. This is a vanilla relationship, which kind of disappointed me, especially from a Dare writer. So, yeah, I mean, for a really good one, check out Joss Wood, okay? That's a good one. Joss Wood should have wrote this. Well, with George Toffolo. Yeah, I felt so... That's underwhelming. That is underwhelming. You sit here thinking, you put in this character, and yet, you keep it sedatory. It's like, honey, this isn't what Katie did, alright? So, right. But also, the crucial bit of matter, okay, is that Zoe won't fall in love. Is because Zoe is just... She seems to think love is patronising. She seems to think that... that being with Finn, who they generally do fall for each other, that should be a burden. Here you go. And she even says it. Because I'll be a burden, not just for an afternoon or a night or a day or a week, or even a month or two before a lifetime. I don't want to be the pity project, a barnacle on a stolen dinghy, along for the ride, but not in the boat I happen to navigate. Right. That's not fair, Zoe. Not to me, not to you. It was never fair what you said about pity projects, and you know it. So what you do is the memory is waiting for you to find, clear out. Now I forgive you the same way. I want you to forgive me for the things I said. Basically, years ago, when she had an accident, they had a bit of a argument. Here you go. I know what it's like, Finn, to be pitied. I know, people always smothered me with it. But you never told him to stop, Zoe. You would have braved down the shows, always stiff up a lip. Okay? Never shedding a tear, even though everyone around you did, even when you ended up in a wheelchair. When did I get the chance to shed a tear, Finn? Everyone was already crying over me. People been crying over me for 18 years, they're still crying over me. Zoe, you arms are like crying. Doesn't that tell you something? Doesn't that tell you I get it? You can stop being brave, strong, inspirational Zoe Taylor and just be Zoe Taylor with me. Right. Yeah. So she has a lot to mentally unpack about this. Okay. She was kind of protected because she was sick growing up. Then she lost the ability to walk. And then she has a thinking that people pity me, people pity me, people pity me. Okay, even though she gives us this veneer, okay, of I'm okay with it, deep down she's not, she's insecure. Follow her will make it insecure. Okay, obviously they sort it out. So the bits about this book I liked. I generally liked. It felt strong voice, strong, but it felt so sedatory. That's the problem. It felt so sedatory. It felt so vanilla. It felt so vanilla. When it got it right, it got it right. When it actually unpicked what it feels like, okay, when people are patronising you, and I have been there. It wasn't long, but I have actually been there. Okay, you know, or when you do something, okay, and people say, "Oh, Jodie, you're amazing," and you're like, "No, not really." Okay, yeah, I know what that's like. So bits I liked, but some bits I didn't. And sorry, okay. However, having a disabled character, okay, is good. One of my favourite Hallmark films only came out last year, well, actually the year before, was called Christmas Ever After. It has Ali Stoker in it herself, who is, she's disabled. It's made into a film, by the way. Hi, Ali Stoker, okay, to play Zoe. And being a wheelchair user, and she was a lead in a Hallmark film, a Hallmark Christmas film. And I liked it from the way it was captured. Basically, the director and her worked together to kind of capture the best kind of angles, to make it all a bit more inclusive. And it's a Hallmark film. You know how it's going to go. Her character, whose name I can't remember, it goes like this log cabin, kind of, not log cabin, like a little log cabin kind of hotel to do some work, and then falls for this guy, and it's a bit more complicated. But the fact is that a Hallmark film with a wheelchair user, it's nice to see more diversity, but at the same time I felt I need a little bit more. So anyway, 41 years of Mills and Boon. Actually, no, before I go, I almost forgot. Get this. I actually am on Mills and Boon's website, okay? Mills and Boon thing. Get this. Okay, I have this as well. This is the last book. This will be an advance read, okay? This will be coming out on the 28th of April. I'll go through the book later, of April 2022, but I've got a pre-read. So, yeah, that's next. So, I'll be reviewing this next. So, Meet Me at the Wedding, George Toffolo. Come out 28th of April 2022. This will be out before that. Sign off, everyone. Bye now.